Hello, welcome. My name's Ella.
And I'm Ben.
And for those who don't know, we both bought our 2006 Mercedes Sprinter long wheelbase and converted it into our home on wheels. And we've been travelling around Australia since early January. So we're currently on the Sunshine Coast of Queensland. And this video is going to be a little different. We're going to do a Q&A of questions that you guys have asked about van life. Okay, do you want to read the first one?
Cool. So, first question. Does driving ever get boring? You can say it from your side.
Well, Ben does most of the driving, so I guess if it's a long drive and you're in the passenger seat, it does get quite boring. But as long as you've got some good tunes or a nice podcast going, it's not too bad.
Yeah, exactly right. I don't usually find it that boring because it's a little moment where you can just listen to music, be with your own thoughts and witness the landscape change around you, which I think is pretty cool, but I guess it's not everyone's cup of tea, and you can only drive for so long before it gets boring.
Exactly. And we don't do long distance driving that often, only when we have to.
Yeah, only when we're trying to get somewhere in a certain amount of time. So I think we did a drive from Adelaide to Cairns, so we were driving
every day,
3 to 5 hours each day just to get there.
But that was probably the longest that we've driven.
Yeah, that's easily the longest we've driven in one hit.
For sure. What is the hardest part about van life?
Ooh. Hardest part about van life for me is probably just being away from friends and family. And then I think it's just all the little quirks that come with van life, like bathroom, constantly having to find somewhere to park at night. So looking for all the free camps, and if you can't find a caravan park to book in with, Yeah,
or just places to sleep. And like in our van, that we don't have a bathroom or anything like that. We've got a little emergency toilet for number ones. But sometimes you get into a situation where you really need a bathroom, so that can get challenging at times.
Yeah, but I think we could avoid that if we bought one of the higher end porta potties, but
don't want to clean it.
And do you require to park your van during the night at caravan parks? So, you want to answer that?
Sure. Well, we do a lot of free camping. We use the Wiki app on the iPhone, or you can get it on Android as well, and it's like $10, and it's so good. It shows you all the free campsites and then paid campsites and water facilities, etc. So we use that to find free camps, and then obviously if we need to, we can stay at a campsite, but we tend to not stay at like the paid campsites just to save money. And then also if we're in a situation where there's no campsites at all, we'd just find a like quiet area to park overnight, in like an industrial area or something like that. But that's like rare.
It's pretty rare that we have to do that, but when we do, we try to be very respectful, so we don't park in front of people's houses and
definitely
congested areas. So.
And we like just go there to sleep, and we like wake up the next morning.
We go there late at night, wake up really early and move on.
But just free camps, it's great. Do sometimes you wish you had a 4-wheel drive?
I think sometimes yes, but if we sacrificed the van to have a 4-wheel drive, we wouldn't have as high a level of comfort that we have in here, so we're able to stand up in rainy days and move around. Like Ella can do a workout in here. You couldn't do that.
I know, on rainy days, actually so good. There's like plenty of room, which is lovely. But I guess sometimes when there's a track that we really want to go to a certain place, like damn, like we can't take Forrest down there. But Forrest does surprise us sometimes. She does get us down some crazy roads. But I guess yes and no. Like I don't think about it every day.
We don't think about it, but it's nice having I think if we did have a 4-wheel drive, it would be nice having a peace of mind that we don't have to worry about where we can and can't go. But other than that, I don't think I'd trade it for I don't think I'd trade the van for a 4-wheel drive for a year trip.
Favourite meals to cook in the van?
Ooh, my favourite meal is probably either burgers or a spicy laksa.
Yeah, laksa is so good because we don't have an oven, and I miss baking so much. We have an air fryer, so we like to make like sweet potatoes and stuff like that, but
sweet potato fries.
yeah. We love to make a lot of Asian dishes. We've got a 2-stove burner, just a gas stove.
Cook a bunch of Mexican food, that's pretty easy.
Bolognese.
You can really cook anything.
But our favourite's laksa.
Favourite's probably spicy laksa.
Yeah.
That's the best in winter. Warms your heart and your soul. Advice to someone who is planning on van life and is scared of travelling solo. I guess get the Wikicamps app. That's definitely a massive plus because it shows you all the campsite. Good tip is also to maybe do a basic mechanics course so you know how to service and fix little problems. Save up as much as you can so you don't have to work on the road.
Yeah, and also if you're a female travelling alone, just make sure, you know, your van locks from the inside, and, you know, just that peace of mind knowing that you're safe. And if you're ever in a situation where, you know, you're not safe where you've parked, or you wake up in the middle of the night, like, you can always just like run to the front of the van, turn it on and drive off. That's probably one of the best things, like getting a van where you can get from the cabin to the back of the van.
Yeah.
Easy, because yeah, if you're in a bad situation by yourself and you have to get out of the back of the van and go through the front, that's
yeah. We've also got a dash cam set up that films the rear and the back when the van's hit or moves around. So
when you open and close the door, it like turns on. It senses movement. It
senses movement, and so it records everything. So it's sort of like our little security system.
Yeah, and that's also great peace of mind, just knowing that we have things on record if we need. And also, like, if you feel lonely, you can always get a dog. Obviously, that stops you from going into national parks. That's why we don't have one.
Yeah.
Best and worst things about van life. Probably again, the worst things: no toilet. Like, no proper toilet if you really need one.
Yeah.
And then best things about van life would probably just like waking up somewhere new every single morning. Like, there's always, it's so cool. Like, you wake up and there's just always something different to do and see and meet people, and yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, it's definitely a unique experience being able to drive and see your own country. I think that's also pretty cool because Australia is such a massive country that we hadn't really had no idea until we started driving around in our van.
And we look at the map because we've got a little scratch map on the wall here, and like what we've done is like nothing compared to like the whole of Australia.
It's like less than a third of the whole country, which is insane.
We've been away for like over 9 months. That's hectic.
Yeah.
And also probably another worst thing about van life is just missing friends and family as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And not having sort of a home base per se, so. And I guess the worst thing is also when the van, when a van breaks down, then all priorities drop out of the window just to get that fixed. So that's another thing.
Yeah. What do you spend in a day? Costs of living in a van, food, petrol, etc.
Yeah, so we'll do it on a weekly basis, just to summarise it. We might do another video to go into real proper detail.
Yeah, if you guys actually want to see in detail exactly what we spend, like, I'm more than happy to do a video on that. Love doing that.
Yeah.
But on average, I've added it all up, and on average we spend between like $175 to $200 a week each, and that's including everything.
And that covers fuel, food, and then
gas.
Gas.
Going out for coffee, and then obviously if we want to go treat ourselves, we'll just go do that.
Yeah.
And it just depends how much you want to spend and how much your budget is, but we try to budget and not spend too much.
Yeah.
But we do get excited at times.
Yeah. It also depends on how much driving you do. So when we were doing the drive from Adelaide to Cairns, we were filling up with petrol every 1 or 2 days. So in that week, we probably spent about $400 or $500 just on petrol.
Yeah.
Because it's such a large distance. But, you know, it all varies on where you are and what you're doing. How do we navigate border closures during COVID?
Well, we've been super lucky this trip. As we said, we left in early January, and that's when like the borders were open and things like that. And we went we've been to, obviously we're from New South Wales, and then we went to Victoria, we went over to Tassie, we've been to South Australia, and then we cut over again through rural New South Wales to Queensland. But yeah, we've just been super lucky. Like, we're so grateful that we've been able to go as far as we've been.
Yeah, I think our whole process has been, we've taken our time, but we've always been watching the updates on what restrictions there are and what states are closed and what are open. So
yeah,
I think for the most part, when we've crossed through those borders, it's been pretty good. So I think the worst ones we've had is you've just had to wear masks everywhere when you're out in public. But we've also been applying for all the border passes, which you do need to do when you travel across each state.
Yes, so get a permit and everything. But every time we've crossed the border, like, you just cross the border, like, no one has stopped us. Like, obviously we always have like the right paperwork and everything, but yeah, it's so interesting. You hear all these stories like, oh, there's police and cops everywhere, but every time we've crossed it, it's just been like, just drive over it, like, okay.
Yeah, we've always been anticipating a
so
massive
prepared.
big border patrol across the borderline, but no, we haven't experienced anything.
But it'll be really interesting because we're planning to get back home before Christmas in Sydney. And as we said, we're in Queensland at the moment, so it'll be interesting to see around about that time, like,
because Queensland,
when and how we can get back into New South Wales.
Queensland and New South Wales border is currently closed and shut, but so that's why we're going to take our time, see as much of southeast Queensland before we cross over into New South Wales when New South Wales opens up.
Yeah, it's questioning my camera is about to die. If it dies, you know why. Okay, how do we make friends along the road?
Just be open to new experiences and smile. Don't be afraid to go and chat to people.
Yeah, it's really just putting yourself out of your comfort zone and actually just going up to people you talk to, because we have found that, like, older generations, like, there's a lot of retired people on the road. Like, I feel like we meet way more older people, which is great. But yeah, I feel like all the older people are more openly friendly, and they come knock on your door and they're like, hey, and they want to chat, and people our age tend to like stick to themselves, and so you kind of have to be like the person to be like, hi, like, talk to the locals. That's always great to find out cool places. And
when you're going to a cafe or a bar, speak to the bartender or the barista. You know, they usually have good tricks. Information centers are also really good for that, for finding out local information. Shower and toilet. So how and where do we go to the toilet and shower? So I think there's lots of free public toilets around.
We don't have a bathroom in the van, so
yeah, we do have a shower though. So we've got a solar shower that we can fill up with water out of a tap and leave it in the sun, and that heats up. We do also have an instant hot water system, so if it isn't sunny, we can use the hot water from the van. And so we will just heat that up, and then we can hook that on the side of the van or at the back, on the back doors, and have a shower that way. Toilets, there's heaps of free public toilets in shopping malls, service stations, in parks.
And again, the Wiki Map app, it's got so many, it shows you everything, like all the free showers and things like that. And then also, if you're stuck in a situation where there's just no free showers, swim centers, you spend between like $2 to like
$2 to $10. It really depends on
it's only a few dollars to go in and use the showers, which is really good, especially in the colder months when you want a nice warm shower and you don't want to go to the beach and use the cold beach shower.
Yeah, but in summer it's perfect because you got all the beach showers.
Yeah, it's been so good. The camera died, so we're back. She's charged again. Alright, we'll start off with the last question we're on. Did we wish we packed more or less for our trip?
I don't think so. I'm pretty happy with what I brought. I left some room so in case there was a cool t-shirt, a cool jumper, or something that I did find and I wanted to buy, there was room, but we sort of just packed based on the storage we've got. So
exactly, yeah, like I have still so many clothes back at home. It was really hard for me to pick what I like was gonna need, but I feel like I haven't even thought about my clothes at home until like now. Like honestly, I'm happy with what I packed, and it's just the basics you really need in van life. You don't need anything too fancy, you know. You're always you're camping and roughing it a little, so but no, not really. I think we could have packed even less. I think like I could give up heaps of stuff even.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely just a little adjustment period that you have to go through on deciding what to bring, but
and based on the climate situation and all that fun stuff. Someone's asked, how did we meet?
How do we meet?
Yeah, well, we met through friends in 2014, and we were like friends, like on and off. I guess we'd hang out here and there, but we didn't officially start dating till 2017, so we've been together for over 4 years now. Okay, what's our routine / day in the life of van life?
Ooh, routine.
We go through phases. I feel like sometimes we like sleep in and we're on island time, and then recently we've actually been loving our early morning wake ups. So I don't know, I've really been enjoying that, like getting up early. We love to make our morning coffee. We've got the little mini espresso. It's so cool. That's something to look forward to in the mornings. And then I normally love to get a workout done in the morning. I've been getting into meditation recently as well. And then Ben, you know, goes and finds his skate park.
Go for a skate when Ella's doing a workout, and then after that we'll usually find a beach or a shower somewhere, and then we sort of leave the afternoon to do whatever is around. Like it just depends wherever we are really, and what the weather is, and but that's like probably like the mornings. And then afternoons we love to make like an early dinner. We cook all our meals in the van. We rarely eat out, only for special occasions or if we ever need to treat ourselves. So we'll always just sit back in the van cooking, make dinner, and it's pretty good. I think the only one time that we've had to buy a meal is because we ran out of gas. So cooking gas, and there wasn't anywhere near us.
We were like halfway through cooking our meal, and then it was like half cooked, and we're like, oh.
What made you decide to travel in a van?
Well, I've always wanted to live in a van. When I was little, I've always wanted to do it. I don't know, I guess I took it more seriously and started talking about it with Ben when we first started dating, and I guess Ben was like, that's something I've always wanted to do as well. And
I kind of always wanted to deck out a van and do that and see what the process was, and so it
just worked out, and we just like both were so keen on the idea, so just always something we've always wanted to do, and we did it. So it's got to get out there and do it, you know. Okay, last question. Scariest thing that's happened to us while traveling?
One time in Adelaide, we were parked up in bed.
That was so
just
scary.
Sitting and like almost about to fall asleep, and then there was someone that was walking down the street trying to open cars to try and get in and steal anything. And he did that to the van while we were just about to fall asleep.
I know, we were drifting off, and he was trying to open like obviously we locked the van, obviously, so that doesn't happen, but he tried the sliding door a few times, and then he tried the passenger door a few times. Oh my god, it was I didn't sleep the rest of the night. Like I was like, Ben, like oh, it was so scary. Anyway, we ended up driving off. I think we saw the guy like going in and out of houses and stuff like that. It was a bit sketchy, so we kind of just went and parked somewhere else, but I did not sleep that whole night. Like every car door slam I could hear, I was like,
it wasn't a targeted attack. Like the guy was just checking all down the street.
He didn't realise what in here. He never saw us. He probably saw us drive off, but man, that was so scary.
Just startled us. And then another one of the scary things was we had a breakdown again in Adelaide, but it was one day I was working quite far away from Ella, and she rang me up quite stressed because the van wouldn't start. So that was quite a scary, not so much a scary moment, but it just made me have to drop everything and figure it all out as we go, because I was working maybe like 45-minute drive away from Ella.
On like the highway.
On a highway.
So long
like
way.
in the middle of nowhere. So I had to figure out how I was going to get there, and then from there figure out how we were going to fix it. So,
but hey, we're here now.
Yeah.
I'll link that video above here, so if you wanted to check that video out, the whole story is there.
Yeah.
That whole situation. But
Sure.
yeah. Anyway, that's all the questions answered. Thank you so much to everyone who asked all those questions. They were awesome. And I also wanted to say thank you for 500 subscribers.
Wow.
I finally got there, and I can't wait to build this channel even more. So thank you so much for watching this far into our video, and we'll see you in the next one.
yeah, and it's not just going to end with van life. There'll be other things in the works of different travel and housing arrangements,
Yeah, we've
and that sort
got
of thing.
a lot of exciting things coming up.
Yeah.
So yeah, our trip might be ended in December, but it's not the end.
Yeah.
Just gotta get better from here.
Yeah.
Alright, we'll see you in the next one. Bye!